Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to finally be discussing a film that I've been wanting to make a video about for a long time, Conan the Destroyer. There will be no dilly-dallying with pre-opening card explanations this time, so without further ado, on with the review.
Polos is life, 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 sleep all night and then Polos is life.
Last summer, I posted a video about my thoughts on both film adaptations of Robert E. Howard's character, and discussed which film I preferred and why. In that video, I briefly mentioned that there was a sequel to the 1982 film, Conan the Barbarian, but I didn't think it to be relevant to the comparison that I was making. I originally intended on making a video about Conan the Destroyer much sooner than now, but I just never got around to doing so until this point. From what I can tell, The Destroyer has mixed reviews compared to its predecessor. It has a lower rating than Conan the Barbarian on IMDb, but at least Roger Ebert had some nice things to say about it. By the way, I am not happy with Conan the Barbarian's IMDb rating. That should at least be a 7.5. Anyways, we're discussing Conan the Destroyer, and I want to explain why I think that this movie deserves more credit. Conan the Destroyer is set a few years after the end of Conan the Barbarian, and begins with Conan and his friend, a thief named Malik, being ambushed by a group of royal guards. Malik tries to help somewhat, while Conan takes them all down in standard Conan fashion. I like how in this movie we are thrust into a combat situation pretty much immediately after the opening credits, as there is no need for a slow establishing opening. It does always make me nervous whenever I see stunts with horses in movies though, as there's gonna be a lot in this movie. After taking all these red shirts down, Conan is approached by the person who sent them.
Do you know who I am?
Taramis.
Queen Taramis.
Not my queen.
Taramis reveals that this was a test for Conan, as she wants him to go on a quest for her, and although he refuses at first, he agrees once she promises to resurrect Valeria. For those who are unaware, Valeria is Conan's girlfriend who died in the last movie. As Conan is travelling with the Queen through the city, we get a nice callback to one of the sillier scenes in the first movie.
I think it does. I'm sorry about what happened the last time.
This is referring to a scene where Conan punches a camel in Conan the Barbarian. At her palace, the Queen reveals that Conan and his friends must take the Queen's niece, Princess Jenna, to retrieve a magical gem called the Heart of Ahriman. I think I'm saying that right? They need the gem to find the horn of the god Dagoth, but this gem must be retrieved from the wizard Thoth-Amon. It's been implied before that Conan isn't that big of a fan of people who use magic, with the exception of his friend Akiro, who will come up later. What is it with this franchise and its love of gems anyway? The princess has a nightmare, and the queen and her captain, Bombata, go to comfort her. The queen then tells Bombata that he must accompany Conan and his friends to make sure that the princess remains a virgin, so that she can be sacrificed upon her return.
It is not wise to have the king of thieves near the treasure. So when the key is in my niece's hand, I want your sword at Conan's heart. Have the elite guard follow. They will strike at the right moment to help you. Conan must die.
Not very nice, is she, this queen? Conan goes to get Akiro to help them on their quest, and they find that they must rescue him from a group of cannibals. It's cool while a short-lived scene, and Akiro is thankful, agreeing to help Conan on his quest. While travelling through a village, they find a bandit named Zula, played by Grace Jones, who has been tied to a post and is being tormented by angry villagers. This disturbs the princess, who demands that Conan do something about it. It's a very simple scene, but I think that this says a lot about Conan's character. He doesn't let her escape directly, but he frees her from the post to make it a more fair fight. If she flees, but if she dies, and it will be by her own merit. Zula follows them and swears her allegiance to Conan. When Bombarda tries to stop her from joining them, she doesn't exactly take no for an answer. So Conan comes over like, okay kiddo, stop fighting, and Zula joins their band. They stop and sleep by the lake surrounding Toth Amon's crystal castle, and during the night, Amon transforms into a terrible pterodactyl-like creature and kidnaps the princess. I actually like the effects used here, despite how dated they are. The animation looks neat. Akira is able to figure this out using his magic, and once they get inside, he finds out that there is an entrance underwater. While searching for Jenna, Conan is trapped in a hall of mirrors, and we get the best fight scene ever put to screen. Need I say more? It's just so goofy and awesome. I mean, yeah, the effects are super dated and the fighting is super phony, but it's fun! Conan defeats the creature by smashing the surrounding mirrors until he gets to the one the wizard is hiding behind, finding Princess Jenna. They get the heart of Ahriman, but with Toth Amon's death, the castle falls apart. In the forest, some of the Queen's guards attempt to kidnap the princess, but Conan and his friends manage to put a swift end to that. We get these cool poses from Conan too. Bombarda feigns ignorance about the attack, but Conan begins to grow suspicious. That night, Conan gets a bit drunk and laments about his lost Valeria to the princess.
And she's a warrior too?
A great warrior. A great woman.
Yeah, Conan, we get that you like tomboys. On that note, the following day, the group travels to a temple where the Horn of Dagoth is supposed to be, and Zula gives some pretty good relationship advice to the princess.
Suppose you set your heart on somebody. What would you do to get him?
Grab him! And take him!
You grab him and take him.
Words to live by, obviously if you know that he's interested too. Inside the temple, Akira deciphers engravings of a prophecy in the wall, revealing that the princess must be sacrificed, and that it will allow for Dagoth to begin a reign of terror. Princess Jenna retrieves the horn, and Conan doesn't listen to Akira, hoping that Valeria will be returned to him regardless of the means. Some priests stop the group from leaving the temple, and reveal their insidious intentions for world domination, also ignoring Akira's attempts at reasoning. They want to take the princess for themselves, but thankfully Conan puts a stop to this exchange with yet another sick line.
Give us the girl or we'll take her.
Enough talk!
While trying to escape through a tunnel, the head priest, a wizard, uses magic to pry open the entrance. Akira then opposes him and does some epic counterspell, winning. Yep, you heard me, we get a wizard versus wizard battle. This movie just gets better and better. As they travel through the tunnel, Bombarda blocks the others from escaping. However, they do find a way out. Conan accepts that the Queen's promise was a lie, and they head back to the palace to put a stop to the sacrifice. Malak is finally useful when he leads the group to a secret tunnel to the throne room, and I'm so glad that they gave him a use. Otherwise, I would have just written off his character as a coward with some funny moments. In the palace, Conan confronts Bombarda and the pair duel, Conan obviously being victorious. The sacrifice is then disrupted when Zula impales the priest before he can finish the job. Dagoth rises as a terrible beast and kills the queen, causing sections of the castle to explode. On Akira's orders, Conan tears out Dagoth's horn, his life force, and finally puts an end to this mess. Dagoth is actually played by Andre the Giant, who has appeared on the channel before as Fezzik in The Princess Bride. It's kind of cool to see how tall he and Wilt Chamberlain really were, especially in comparison to Arnold, who's already over 6 feet tall. Now crowned queen, Jenna gives Zula the role of captain of the guard, Malak the role of court jester, and Akiro the role of royal advisor.
I understand that every king or queen must have a fool.
Do I qualify?
More than qualify.
She then offers Conan the prospect of marriage, but he declines, as he must search for his own kingdom. All in all, I think that this film is great fun and is definitely an easy watch. If you don't mind outdated effects and cheesy fights and dialogue, this is the film for you. There are so many good lines in this, and I didn't include them all in my review, as I don't want to show too much to those who haven't seen it. In comparison to Conan the Barbarian, this movie is much sillier compared to the moody atmosphere of the original film. There is very good continuity between the two films though, highlighted by the numerous references to events and ideas from Conan the Barbarian throughout this film. Nevertheless, one thing that does bother me about this film is that we never get answers to some more questions about the previous movie. Where did Subutai go? Is he still an archer? Does Akiro know? We don't have to get a concrete answer, as it is implied that a lot of time has passed between the two films, but it would be cool to know, you know? Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to follow me on social media, as they are all linked in my description box. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.
Nothing like a polo to ease my mind. With polos by my side, I'll always shine. The blue and green ones are my favorite kind, but I'll eat the colored ones from time to time. Cause polos is life, 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 polos is life. Sleep all night and then polos is life.